So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
First carry for the Oklahoma State man, Chuba Hubbard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. Young to throw it. He short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete. But you look at this Bronco defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for.
Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be, but early in this one, advantage defense.
So now here are the Broncos with excellent field position to start off. After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first. I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
It's Young off play action. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Young on 3rd down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. Back deep to return is Marvin Mims. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. On second down, Williams. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
And the Broncos first down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Broncos at 13-3 now on the year. And now they get a stern road test as they come into this one after losing in London a week ago.
Yeah, and that London really jumps off the schedule when you look at it in preseason, doesn't it? And then when you have to confront it for real, that's when you realize that the schedule makers gave you a pretty tough stretch there. Because I think we're going to know pretty early on in this one whether these guys are ready to play after that trip.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A first carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. Powering his way forward. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Wilson going to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on a 2-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And they can't bring him down. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And Young's throw there incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now. And it's the Panthers with the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. As they've got it as we resume action. And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
Here's Young. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. 3rd and 3. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Here's Daniel Whelan now. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Wilson. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That's good for a Panthers first down.
Straight ahead with Hubbard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Young on 3rd and 2. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Now Young. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
That throw by Young incomplete. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Looking to throw, Young. He's got his running back out of the backfield. Touchdown! Chuba Hubbard, 38 yards. And the Panthers have cut it back within a score. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, your former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. And they're going to speed things up here. On the handoff, McLaughlin. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. The give is to McLaughlin. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Play action. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and shorted the sticks.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. 2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Here's McLaughlin, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And we've got some movement up front. If that's on the offense, that might push him out of field goal range. Well, still in his range, but that makes this a little more difficult.
So we're testing it a little bit, aren't we? Right? It's kind of like changing the golf club, right? Which one can you hit better? In this case, he's got to hit the long one this time.
Yeah, needs his driver. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And it's going to be batted down. We'll go the other way with the football. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Final play of the half, Young. And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete. Only 30 minutes left in the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Broncos offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now this throw caught left side, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. They go play action with Wilson on the move to his left. That's complete to Shipley, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On the ground, here's McLaughlin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And now they're in the hurry-up.
It's a gain of 25 yards. 1st down, London.
On 1st down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's McLaughlin. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. 2nd down and 6 now. They go play action now. Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He finds his man. Complete. It's Atkins. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A carry from McLaughlin. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, Young. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Young to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Young will set to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. DJ Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. On play action, Young. Under pressure, they got him again. Baron Browning, he's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Russell Wilson and the Broncos set for another offensive series. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too. One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Derek Brown. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, it's McLaughlin. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Panthers are right back in this football game.
Intercepted. The Panthers take over first and 10.
On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And the Panthers first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Young. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Third and short yardage, Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. Off the play fake, Young. There goes a deep ball, end zone. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Hayden Hurst, 39 yards. And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Zerline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Panthers 14.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. London about set to take over on offense. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at early opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Play action. It's Wilson. His throw incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting the game.
They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Rolling to his right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. They run the counter. McLaughlin. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. It's McLaughlin. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run the counter. McLaughlin. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Throwing now is Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McLaughlin. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
They're going to try and run. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. And Young's throw there incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Young. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
We got London on the
whole club selling out of hitters doing stadiums. Gold diggers don't come around, they don't survive my radius. I keep it too real for real, and that's that made me rich. That's what made me rich. Hustling, that's what made me rich. Yeah, whole club selling out of hitters doing stadiums. Small business don't come around, they don't survive my radius. All I talk about, and that's what really made me rich. Hustling, that's what made me rich. That's what made me rich. The whole club. McLaren way too wise to be shooting in the odds. I'm sleeping good at night, see the door don't got no locks. To be spiteful, she best friends with the ops. And you need better style.